To God be the glory for great things He has done for us thus far, including this opportunity I have to share some highlights of Adventist Education Ministries in the West Central Africa Division. Permit me to also thank our division administrators, my supervisors and counselors at the General Conference, my co-laborers at Ward Office, and particularly my colleague educators in the unions and institutions on whose behalf I present this brief report. I wish to start with a quick glance at the just ended quinquennium, whose fruitful ministries are serving as encouragement to forging ahead today, despite the worldwide multifaceted threat of the COVID-19 pandemic. In the past quinquennium, specific objectives such as campus discipleship, expansion and extension of research activities, student recruitment, and establishment of new schools were defined, and great efforts were made to reach the set goals. To the glory of God, Ward Education Ministries ended the quinquennium on a very encouraging note, placing fourth in regard to the number of teachers and recording the third highest number of students and second highest number of schools among the 13 divisions of the Global Adventist Educational System. Internally, Adventist Education Ministries ended the quinquennium with a total reported number of 9,888 baptisms. In fact, our schools and universities baptized more souls than several unions in Ward within the same period. Of course, this is no wonder because, as the spirit of prophecy would have it, in the highest sense, the work of education and the work of redemption are one. For in education, as in redemption, no other foundation can anyone lay than that which is laid, which is Jesus Christ. With regard to research, we recorded an unprecedented number of over 400 scholarly publications and academic conferences and seminars. But the quinquennium also left us with several challenges, including low percentage of Adventist teachers, low percentage of qualified teachers as per government requirements, inadequate number of teachers trained in Adventist institutions, and low percentage of Adventist children in our schools. But with the new quinquennium strategic I Will Go roadmap, Ward Education Ministries will boldly, by God's grace, face the torrent and tide of our time in an attempt to rectify the trend. In this regard, the strategic plan for this quinquennium has been unpacked and operationalized to read, I will prepare them to go with me. The new quinquennium has started well. The major activities of the year are as follows. By God's grace, we have been able to curb the controversial governance-related storms that hit some of our universities at the beginning of the year. This contributed a great deal to institutional stability. Advisories and many consultation meetings were carried out as well, including the Board of Education meeting that was held to discuss unions' education strategic plans in light of the division's educational objectives. Multiple education meetings for church leaders in the Republic of Congo, opportunities for establishing schools in that particular country is very, very critical because it is one of the two countries in the division that do not have even a single Adventist school. We also had an education advisory for church and education leaders in the Central African Republic, focusing on school management within the war and COVID-19 complex environment. An advisory for West African Union mission school heads and principals and education directors was focusing on establishment, management, and governance of elementary and secondary schools. Another advisory for all school heads, principals, and education directors was organized for Cameroon Union Mission, and this advisory was focusing on current educational challenges and opportunities within the country. a seminar for all school heads and principals and education directors across the division was organized, focusing particularly on the process of accreditation. We organized an international training seminar for governing council members of all the 5 universities in WAD, with key speakers from General Conference, some international fundraising firms, and even governmental top leadership. Regular consultations within school and university leaders have been held to track the trend of COVID-related challenges in the institutions. And to this end, it is gratifying to note that no life has so far been lost to COVID-19 in our primary and secondary schools. Unfortunately, 2 workers died of COVID-19 and 1 student in our universities. Additionally, many of our institutions in different unions are heavily indebted. Of course, this report cannot cover numerous educational activities that were organized by our unions, conferences, missions, and institutions to ensure that the division messages reach the most basic operational units of our system. We have not neglected other institutions closely related to WAD, such as the Adventist University of Africa, AUA, where we participated in both spiritual and academic activities. And we also participated in the activities of the Pan-African Association of Adventist Universities and Colleges. Should I also add that, like in the case of Jesus with the Syrophoenician woman, WAD Education Ministries even reached out as much as practicable to some Macedonian calls outside of the territory. This year, we participated in the 2021 Excavation and Taphonomic Research Project, a project that has been going on for close to 30 years with the aim of searching for, among other things, more and more scientific evidence for harmony between biblical teachings and scientific discoveries. Our department has also been participating actively in ongoing discussions by the United Nations International Commission on the Future of Education. It is equally worth noting that our office is currently involved in research activities, including the coordination of the Global Church Membership Survey in WAD, participation in ASRA pioneering meetings, ongoing research that was initiated in 2018 on the impact of parent-child relationship on child's spirituality and educational output, and also the ongoing research that started last year on readiness of Adventists in WAD for involvement in the implementation of the I Will Go strategic plan. Moreover, we keep producing materials for churches and institutions depending on their specific needs. Currently, we are busy training our story writing and textbook writing clubs in an attempt not only to advocate for centers of influence in the 1040 window, but also to afford our teachers and learners some basic faith integrating materials for teaching and learning. And if the Lord tarries yet a little longer and preserves our lives, we still have a few activities before the year end. And this includes accreditation visits in Togo, the Benin Republic, and Cote d'Ivoire. Yes, we are pressing on toward the goal, and the Lord is blessing every little effort He empowers us to make in this difficult time. The enemy taking advantage of the heavy witnessing, Lord, upon the WAD educational ministries meant to harm us through the COVID-19 pandemic. But with Christ as our shepherd, all is well, even as we are coming out of the well. And we strongly believe that as we keep toiling hard like donkeys, we shall in no time broaden and widen our smiles. Please keep us in prayer, and may the Lord keep blessing you as well. Thank you very much for listening to this report from the WAD Education Department. God bless you.